Tahukah anda, kemajuan ekonomi sesebuah negara penting untuk kesejahteraan rakyat? Adakah anda tahu bahawa pertumbuhan produktiviti boleh merancakkan pengembangan ekonomi tersebut? Perbadanan Produktiviti Malaysia, MPC, sebuah badan berkanun di bawah Kementerian Perdagangan Antarabangsa dan Industri, MITI, telah diberi mandat untuk memastikan peningkatan produktiviti serta daya saing negara. Pelan Tindakan Produktiviti Malaysia merupakan panduan utama usaha tersebut. MPC aktif bekerjasama dengan pengawal selia serta pemain industri dalam membantu penggubalan polisi awam yang berkualiti. Dasar Negara Amalan Baik Peraturan telah dilancar untuk menghasilkan polisi dan peraturan yang baik dan efektif. Persekitaran perniagaan yang mesra peniaga bakal melancarkan ekonomi. MPC menerusi program My Mudah mengukuhkan ekosistem perniagaan dan mengurangkan bebanan peraturan yang tidak wajar. Ketelusan maklumat pematuhan peraturan turut diterjemah dengan portal My Garis Panduan. Platform seranta awam Unified Public Consultation memastikan semua pemegang taruh berpeluang memberi input terhadap peraturan. MPC menerajui pelaksanaan peraturan tangkas. Program E10 di Kulim telah berjaya mempercepatkan proses urusan pembinaan bangunan industri, komersial dan perumahan. Program IUJKT telah mempercepatkan urusan tanah menerusi pendigitalan proses ubah jenis kegunaan tanah di Kedah. Kejayaan E10 dan IUJKT mendorong pelabur asing dan domestik untuk memulakan perniagaan dan telah mewujudkan ribuan pekerjaan untuk rakyat. 11 Nexus produktiviti subsektor ekonomi utama negara berperanan meningkatkan produktiviti menerusi penyelesaian industri. Pelbagai cabaran industri telah berjaya ditangani secara kerjasama sektor awam dan swasta. Penekanan ke atas penerima gunaan teknologi, penyelidikan dan pembangunan serta insentif yang efektif turut diberi penumpuan. Bakat merupakan faktor penting dalam pertumbuhan ekonomi. Menerusi program Academy in Factory, tenaga kerja disalurkan ke sektor yang lebih produktif dan meningkatkan produktiviti pekerja. Inovasi program ini membolehkan pekerja belajar dan menambah kemahiran sewaktu bertugas. MPC turut mengiktiraf pekerja yang menyumbang kepada peningkatan produktiviti sebagai Productivity Champion. MPC telah membangunkan program Behavioral Insights Negara. MPC turut membangunkan kompetensi penjawat awam dalam mengaplikasikan Behavioral Insights dalam menghasilkan polisi. Sebuah rangka kerja pelaksanaan inisiatif Behavioral Insights berjaya dihasilkan. Peningkatan produktiviti di peringkat firma sentiasa menjadi agenda utama MPC sejak penubuhannya. Banyak kejayaan mentransformasi firma ke tahap yang lebih kompetitif telah dicapai. Usaha berskala lebih besar, enterprise produktif dan produktiviti untuk semua sedang dilaksana untuk manfaat seluruh firma di Malaysia. MPC turut aktif berkolaborasi dengan pelbagai organisasi seperti Bank Dunia, Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, Asia Productivity Organisation dan Australia Government Productivity Commission di peringkat antarabangsa. Amalan baik negara maju dilaksana di Malaysia. MPC memacu produktiviti negara untuk pertumbuhan ekonomi serta kesejahteraan rakyat.
MPC komited untuk meningkatkan produktiviti rakyat Malaysia dan negara Malaysia tercinta.
As a leader mesti berani buat keputusan. Salah tak apa buat keputusan. Biasalah buat keputusan salah. Cerita comfort zone ni dah lama dah. Dah lama dah kita cerita leader-leader bercerita pasal comfort zone. Leader sendiri bercerita pasal comfort zone. Tapi leader tak keluar daripada comfort zone. Macam mana nak buah nak keluar?
Siapa sangka setiakawan lebih 18 tahun berjaya menjadi batu asas
Agrotourism Centre hasil kerjasama Farm Fresh dan Universiti Putra Malaysia.
Kalau you compare last 10 years, kita bermula 2010 kan sampai sekarang dah 10 tahun. 60 ekor lembu tak ada apalah cerita nak pengurusan 60 ekor lembu, 2-3 orang pun boleh jaga kan. Kita buat semua manually, buat sendiri. Jadi untuk mencapai economy of scale yang itu kita kena expand. Economy of scale tu untuk you tambah orang pengurusan, untuk tambah ini, dia tak beri pulangan yang sewajarnya kerana economy of scale tu tak cukup. Our mission ialah untuk produce fresh milk yang sedap and then deliver within 48 jam secara konsisten, dan itu adalah KPI kita untuk ladang yang ini. Untuk menguruskan itu, kalau kata tak ada satu sistem yang efisien, delivery system kita tak sampai. Bila barang premium, harga dia mestilah premium juga. Tapi kita dekat Farm Fresh, kita nak bagi harga yang affordable. Digital teknologi yang ada dalam ni ialah daripada segi pengumpulan data. Jadi kita kena ada data-data yang spesifik untuk kita tahu prestasi ladang dan pengeluaran lembu kita. Bila kita dah tahu data-data ni, kita dapat troubleshoot. Data tu penting untuk kita. Kalau kata kita tak ada di digital punya maklumat, kita tak tahu nak buat apa. Kita just assume. So, sebagai leader, kita dapat full control dengan kita boleh akses kepada data-data yang tadi supaya memudahkan kita untuk buat keputusan. Sebelum saya guna rapid exit. Jadi itu limitasi dia, satu hari saya boleh perah 800 hingga 900 ekor. Dengan mesin yang baru ni saya boleh perah sekarang 1200 hingga 1500 ekor. Jadi pengeluaran lebih tinggi. Dengan tracking sistem boleh meningkatkan kita punya integriti dalam supply chain untuk kita deliver produk yang terbaik kepada consumer kita. Kalau you tak betul-betul jaga susu itu kan, belum sampai kita nak manufacture dekat kilang pun dia dah rosak. So tracking sistem ni sangat penting dan consumer kita rasa selamat untuk menggunakan produk kita, dan dia akan loyal dengan produk kita kerana dia rasa this is produk yang boleh kami percayai. Online platform adalah salah satu kaedah di syarikat kami macam mana kita mengumpulkan data untuk kita tengok customer behavior. Kita nak tengok pola pembelian, SKU mana yang laku. Jadi data-data macam ini kita tahu kita nak buat promotion of sales kita dan planning kita punya production pula. Dan tak ada banyak wastage dan kita boleh save dekat situ. Leader kena berani untuk invest. Banyak faedah yang kita boleh dapat daripada invest dekat digital ni. Bila dah skala yang besar ni, memang kita sangat memerlukan digital teknologi. Kita tak boleh lagi manual. If you want to grow big, kita kena berani ambil keputusan untuk invest dan how to penetrate the market, how to break the market. Tapi kalau kata kita masih tak nak terbuka dengan teknologi baru, saya ingat kita akan tertinggal. Untuk deliver produk yang bagus, kita mesti ada analisa supaya kita boleh deliver produk kita dengan selamat kepada consumer. Dan bila orang dah confident dengan produk kita, loyalty tu akan datang sendiri. Dengan digital teknologi ini dapat membantu kita menjadi pengeluar susu terbesar negara dengan sekarang market share sudah 55%. That's what make people happy, stakeholder happy, pekerja happy, everybody happy, kau pun happy.
Pembayaran tanpa tunai meningkatkan produktiviti perniagaan. Adakah anda seorang peniaga? Adakah perniagaan anda menerima pembayaran tanpa tunai? Tahukah anda, pembayaran tanpa tunai boleh meningkatkan produktiviti perniagaan sekaligus meningkatkan keuntungan anda. Pembayaran tanpa tunai dilakukan melalui transaksi perbankan atas talian, kad debit, kad kredit dan e-dompet. Ianya merupakan pilihan rakyat Malaysia masa kini. Ini kerana pembayaran boleh dibuat di mana-mana sahaja dengan selamat serta menjimatkan masa tanpa perlu mengeluarkan duit dari bank terlebih dahulu. Sistem pembayaran tanpa tunai ini memberi banyak faedah kepada peniaga. Akaun perniagaan anda akan diurus dengan lebih sistematik. Anda tidak perlu risau lagi untuk merekod transaksi perniagaan anda. Segalanya akan direkod dan anda hanya perlu menyemak melalui penyata perbankan anda. Ianya juga lebih efisien, kos efektif dan selamat kerana anda tidak perlu lagi membawa wang tunai atau pergi ke bank untuk mendeposit atau mengeluarkan wang. Bukankah ini dapat menjimatkan masa dan kos operasi perniagaan anda? Trend transaksi perniagaan atas talian meningkat dengan pesat menerusi platform e-dagang atau media sosial. Perniagaan beroperasi 24 jam sehari sepanjang tahun dan semakin ramai rakyat Malaysia yakin dengan sistem pembayaran tanpa tunai bagi transaksi pembelian atas talian. Ini adalah potensi besar kepada anda untuk mengembangkan perniagaan dan menggandakan keuntungan anda. Tapi jika anda masih dengan kaedah dan cara lama, pelanggan anda hanya terhad kepada mereka yang mengunjungi kedai anda sahaja. Jadi, apa yang anda tunggu lagi? Inilah masa terbaik untuk anda mulakan langkah pertama. Jom berniaga secara atas talian dan menerima pakai pembayaran tanpa tunai. Produktiviti perniagaan meningkat, keuntungan juga sudah pasti akan meningkat. Mesej ini dibawakan oleh Perbadanan Produktiviti Malaysia, MPC.
The only way to sustain, to grow and to break through is to go digital.
In MPC, we are continuously working towards building a productivity-driven culture. Digital Solution Directory is another major digital innovation milestone for a sustainable economic growth.
Digital Solution Directory is developed to empower companies and entrepreneurs for digital adoption to stay relevant in an increasingly digitized economy. It is powered by a business matching program to connect providers and end users.
How do we do 10 times more? How do we do 100 times more? How do we save the time to such a short turnaround time? It is very possible with digital and technology. We would like the leaders to take the role in making going big happen.
Digital Solution Directory is one of the key projects derived from the Go Big with Digital concept. B stands for breakthrough, I for integrity, and G for good. These key elements lay the foundation for a robust digital and technology adoption. They are also crucial for the success of the fourth industrial revolution. The implementation will take place through a 6 Ps framework: promotion, pilot, proliferation, protect, prosper, and partnership to rapidly incubate and scale new business models in a connected digital ecosystem.
HICOM is the National Tech Association of Malaysia, representing 1,000 corporate members, providing the whole spectrum of technology products and services. Over the years, we see that changes in trends and the impact on the industry and economy. Staying ahead of the curve is imperative to thrive in the digital age. Through our extensive collaboration with like-minded partners such as MPC, we believe that the Digital Solution Directory will serve as an important platform for businesses to grow, transform, and unleash its full potential. With technology, businesses can achieve much more, and the sky is the limit.
We gather and encapsulate brilliant ideas from the industries From academia, public and private agencies, we have also gathered a lot of industry input along with the association's contribution as well.
Industry players, come register at Digital Solution Directory. This is a one-stop platform for you to get market information, technical assistance, as well as incubation and testing facilities. Best of all, it is another avenue for you to showcase services to the market.
Both retail and F&B industries have gone through unprecedented changes during the COVID-19 outbreak, highlighting the urgency of a digital adoption. The Go Big with Digital initiative is a rallying call for all of us to escalate digital transformation in our businesses. We encourage you to do so to remain nimble in the changing times and relevant to the global market. The Digital Solution Directory provides us with the launching pad to move forward.
The journey towards digital transformation is not easy for many businesses. The Digital Solution Directory provides a clear roadmap and relevant solutions for industry players to thrive in the shortest time frame.
I would like to call upon all the companies, all the organizations, SMEs, entrepreneurs, startups, and so forth, and especially those who are in the professional services, those who are in retail and F&B, tourism sectors, and so forth. Do yourself a favor, bookmark this Digital Solution Directory. Let's log in and register at the Digital Solution Directory now.
Together, we go big with digital.
Together, we shall go big with digital.
Together, we go big with digital.
Digital Solution Directory. Register now.
And a very good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to Go Big with Digital Webinar Series 2022. The title for our webinar today is Cloud Accounting Empower Real-Time Numbers for Business Growth. Without further ado, I call upon Rizal Muhammad to start the session. Pass the floor.
Thank you. Can you hear my voice loud and clear? Yes, I can. All right, thanks, Alfred. Thanks. Hello and welcome to the Go Big with Digital webinar series this Thursday afternoon. I am Rizal Muhammad, as usual, coming to you live on Zoom. Your Go Big with Digital webinar series starts right now. I'm delighted to welcome you all onto the Go Big with Digital webinar series brought to you by the Digital Productivity Nexus, Malaysia Productivity Corporation, MPC, a statutory agency under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry. Thank you for taking out of your Thursday afternoon to join us. Thanks to the Digital Productivity Nexus as the organizer. You may also learn more about past and incoming webinars hosted by Digital Productivity Nexus through the MPC HQ social media. Don't forget to like and follow MPC HQ's official Facebook page and YouTube channel. We are also streaming live via Facebook page. Search for Malaysia Productivity Corporation, MPC, and click follow to listen to our today's webinar. We are happy to learn that many have registered their interest in today's webinar, and we are still seeing a number of participants coming into the webinar as we progress. Those who just got their way into this webinar, You are now watching Cloud Accounting Empowers Real-Time Numbers for Business Growth. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested and wish to participate in any digitalization initiatives organized by MPC, you may scan the QR code on the screen or via link in the chat box. If you are currently seeking help in using digital technologies for your personal or business needs, you may want to download and try the Digital Solution Directory now. Visit www.digitaldirectory.wayup.my and you will be amazed by the long list of digital solution providers. And if you are digital solution providers, make your business more visible now by listing your business via the link provided in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, cloud accounting is seen as a way forward in business nowadays. Many businesses have started incorporating cloud accounting in their business model. We have also seen how cloud accounting helped businesses remain operational throughout the pandemic year and during the period when digital adoption is skyrocketing. Some relevant questions we might want to ask. What is cloud accounting? How does cloud accounting overcome the contemporary business challenges? How to implement cloud accounting? And most importantly, how cloud accounting works. Joining us today, our guest speaker, Mr. Alfre from CALTRiX, who's going to share with us about clouding your accounting. Hello, Alfred. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rizal. Hi, thanks for the introduction.
How are you today, Alfred?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm great too. Thanks. Thank you so much for sparing your time with us today.
My pleasure. Okay.
All right. Today's webinar is a guided presentation. So we welcome questions and opinions through the Zoom Q&A. If you have any questions or would like to share your opinions, you may do so by dropping the questions in the Q&A or chat box, which can be found in the taskbar at the bottom of your screen. I hope during the course of presentation, we will have questions coming in. We will keep 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the presentation for your questions. And I appreciate if you would keep your questions brief and concise. So those who are new with Mr. Alfred, he is a founder and CEO of CALTRiX. He has over 10-year experience in accounting and founded CALTRiX, one of the pioneers of cloud accounting adoption in Malaysia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to hear and see what Alfred is going to share with us. I hope you all stay tuned till the end of this webinar. Over to you, Alfred.
Thank you, Rizal. Okay.
Most welcome.
So first of all, I would like to thank MPC for this opportunity to share what's cloud accounting and also how it can help the SMEs to grow the business with the tool. Okay, at the same time, good afternoon to all the audience here today. Thank you for spending your time with me so that I can share more insights to you guys, like how cloud accounting actually can help you as a business. So let me share my screen and Rizal, probably you can let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes, it's looking good.
Thank you. Thank you, Rizal. Okay. All right. So today's topic, just now Rizal already mentioned, is about this cloud accounting, how we can empower the real-time numbers for you so that you can focus, use the numbers actually to do it for your business growth. So today I will be using Xero, the cloud accounting software, as one of the examples to actually share with you how actually it can help you in the business. Okay. So about myself, so I think probably just add on a bit what Rizal has introduced me. So actually I founded Tuanzan Bahad a few years back and being acquired back in 2017. So from there, actually, I do some research about, what are the next big things that we can work on. So basically I started CALTRiX after that, in focusing on purely on cloud accounting. So up to date, I actually help digitize more than 500 SMEs at this moment. And for CALTRiX itself, we actually a Xero Gold partner in Malaysia. As well, we are the Xero Award finalists in the latest years as well. So these are some milestones that we have achieved. And back to today's topic. So I think the one most important question is actually how can we stay relevant in this rapid changing world? I just met someone last month. Her age is actually more than 50, and they're actually implementing those Shopify, building their own online store, and also how it actually can digitize and so that they can link to the cloud accounting software as well. So what I felt from them, actually, I'm really happy to meet her as well. I've given a lot of advice that I could. to actually help her to stay relevant, because this is the keyword that she told me during that discovery call with me. So I would say today, technology is actually something that you have to admit that, we have to grow consistently together with the technology available in the market so that it actually can implement back to the systems. So that's how we can stay relevant instead of just focusing on sales, and sales. Okay. So like what I mentioned, the business growth is actually someone that, all the business owners always focus on. And so throughout my whole 10 years experience at this moment, I have more than a few thousand of entrepreneurs. So what I realized is one thing that not everyone actually focusing is this, which is the system behind your business. So basically, system is actually the backbone of your business to support whatever growth that you want to aim for. So be it your business plan of you want to grow, let's say you want to implement more omni-channels in your business, or you want to implement certain things that eventually you want to track it. So everything has to go back to the system. So I hope you guys can really get what I'm trying to say, because a lot of people actually neglected this area. So just focusing on growth, sales, cash on hand, etc. But eventually you will reach a bottleneck that actually stop you growing further. So these are the things that hopefully, to let you guys understand the facts. So in terms of the pains of business, I actually separated into, moving pain and hidden pain for you guys to differentiate what that's about. Okay, so for moving pain, it's actually pretty straightforward. It's like the picture in the little girl, so she fall down and you can see her legs actually bleeding. So these are things that you can feel it immediately, and you definitely will resolve it, as soon as possible. But the hidden pains, as you can see in the picture, is often our backache. So for me, I also have the same problem. It's a pain, it's a suffer, but I don't actually take the action immediately. But actually, if you don't actually solve it, this kind of hidden pain, eventually it will affect your health issues. Like myself now, I'm having my neck pain as well, some headaches because of my back pain. Because due to MCO, I've been working from home even until today. So these are the hidden pains that usually we won't take actions. But what are the moving pains that actually SMEs actually will face? So definitely, it's very straightforward. I don't have enough sales. These are the moving pain that confirm you want to solve it immediately whenever you're actually having all the numbers. And also, you don't have enough cash on your hand. And lastly, I think now, I don't know why, I spoke to a lot of entrepreneurs that actually telling me the same thing, they couldn't hire people. Even I just spoke to a Grab driver last week, they are earning like 6,000 a month. So, when this kind of amount, why I still need to back to the office? This kind of thing is like, it's actually the moving pain that we are facing. But the things I want to emphasize today is actually all the hidden pains. So the first thing is actually the productivity. Are you actually evaluating like how effective or how productive is your people in the company? And the second thing is, are you using a technology so that you can rely slightly lesser on human? So because actually you can see the moving pain from the talent, it will link back to the technology. Eventually, we will still need to move to more, implementing more technology to help our businesses to save more time, to save more reliance on human on a certain, redundant jobs. And lastly, are you actually implemented, technology and all this productivity telling you so that you can make the right decisions? Because for me, I'm a numbers guy. So yeah, so because, accountant, right? So I actually rely a lot on numbers. So that's why for me, sometimes I wouldn't feel comfortable to make big decisions when I don't know about the numbers. So these are the hidden pains, or hopefully that you guys can realize, what are the things that going through your business so that you can, some brainstorm a bit, what are the actual hidden pain in your business. Okay. So the key truth is, if you don't change, you'll be changed. So these are something that, we have to admit that. So because I've seen businesses closing down as well, when they don't pivot themselves during the MCO time and they don't change their business model like F&B businesses, etc. So these are the things that I hope, it has really passed on MCO, everything is really open up. But personally, I think the change is still very important. Okay. So back to the cloud accounting software, I think throughout this thing is like a lot of our potential customers actually ask us, what cloud accounting software can do for you. So for me, it's actually pretty straightforward. So, but things that you must understand is nothing is perfect, because when I have the conversation with potential customers, right, they are thinking that accounting software is like, super app. Can you calculate the commissions, using accounting software? Can you manage, like multi-warehouse, multi-location, serial number, barcode, or whatever things, they actually, the request from them sometimes is out of what accounting software can do. I hope you guys must understand this word, like nothing is perfect. Not saying that, accounting software is not a great tool, but we have to face the reality that software in the market, sure, there's something that couldn't fit into our business. Okay. So I also want to bring this up to you, comparison of accounting software and ERP. I'm not saying accounting software means like, an old car, but for me, in terms of the feature-wise, the things that they can do functionality-wise, ERP confirmed is a lot better than just accounting software, because accounting is just part of the things that ERP can do. So I hope you guys can understand this as a first level, and hopefully, and these are the things that to bring you guys, what are the features, basic features as in cloud accounting. So for Xero itself, actually they have a dashboard to give you a quick insights about the current business situations, like facts and figures charts. So for example, how much money that your customer is still owing to you, how much money that you're still owing to a supplier, and what are the cash balance as of now today. So these are the basic quick chat for you to understand how it works. At the same time, if you're using CIMB Biz Channel, you can actually connect your bank account to Xero. Means like, for example, today transactions, let's say you have transacted around 30 to 50 transactions a day. The next working day, you'll push all the transactions into Xero so that you can start doing the accounting work. And then security-wise, don't worry about that. This is one of the biggest questions I always receive, are they secured, to put things on cloud? Yeah, but for me, it's like, a lot of things is actually on cloud, like Google, whatever, like Gmail you're using, actually, they are also on cloud. So, but the question would be, why are you still using Gmail, even though it's a cloud thing that you're actually suspicious about how secure it is when you actually put things on the cloud. So for Xero itself, because they are publicly listed company, that's also why, that's the reason why I choose Xero, is because they are publicly listed and they have a higher, bigger liability, to protect the information, the confidential financial information of our customers. And actually they are serving more than 2 million users throughout the world. So for as of now, they actually set up, multiple levels of security in order to protect your confidential information. And also Power Search, we actually can search transactions throughout the whole accounting software, that whatever that you have entered in Xero, the accounting transactions. So they have a Power Search thing that actually can search the transaction easily from Xero. So at the same time, you also have the online invoicing. I think probably this is not really new to you guys, but yeah, so this actually, like, you can create a sales invoice online and you can straight away email directly from the accounting software. If you're comparing to desktop accounting software, I don't think they are as intuitive as online invoicing like Xero or the other cloud accounting software, because of the back end and how they build the product. So these are the things that, you want to straight away send it the quotations or invoices through an online, even through a link. You actually can do it pretty easily with Xero. At the same time, most importantly, is that you can get unlimited users for your organization. So why this is important, like you can imagine, like when we move to cloud, we want everyone work in the same page. So having this kind of benefits of, inviting unlimited users in Xero, it means that you can have different people, let's say they are just handling quotation and sales alone. And some people, they're just handling the purchases and also the PO and purchases. So some people is actually, doing the full set of accounts. And some people, they might, they can do all the journals, reviewing, or even you can create the read-only access for your directors. Probably not for you, some of you guys, right? You can invite your investors, your management, your bosses into the Xero as well, because that's the value of cloud accounting. You want everyone look at the same information so that you guys can sync better for your business. So that's a very great benefit of Xero. And at the same time, definitely it's like typical accounting software, you can generate all the reporting. But the good thing about cloud accounting software, so don't talk about Xero, right? So all the cloud accounting software, when the reports that they're actually generating is actually pretty real time. So whatever that has been updated by your colleagues or your team, you actually can see the immediate effect in your profit and loss account, or your balance sheet at your fingertips. The last part is actually why I actually love Xero is because of the integration. So today I also will spend a bit more time, not only just talk about cloud accounting, and also the scalability of, let's say you implement a software like Xero. So what are the other software that you can use, or what are the areas that you can digitize by integrating with Xero? So these are the top 8 features in Xero. So I would say, yes, these are the features are good as accounting software, but remember the previous picture, when it comes to ERP, believe me that they can do a lot more better than this. Yeah, because of course, they're also not that cheap as an ERP. Okay, so I also want to share with you guys why you need to invest in a cloud accounting software. So because a lot of people, even yesterday, they just still ask me, how you compare accounting software and Excel file. There are still people asking me such a question, because for me, it's no-brainer. Excel file is something that you have, unless you get a Excel expert to build a macro system that can generate, doing the full set of accounts using Excel file. But other than that, it's actually easier for you to just invest in accounting software and just go through the training and start updating all the information about your business so they can see all the reports. So the things that I just want to tell you guys is like, for me, it's actually make more precise business decisions. And remember, don't just invest accounting software for the sake of, doing the audit and tax. Because there are people that just tell me, I just need a software, eventually end of every year, I get my accountant to review the accounts and then submit for audit and tax. But you have to ask yourself, then why you want to invest accounting software at this moment, even like cloud accounting? Because the customers that we are serving, they actually pretty understand what they want. They want numbers. They want to know what's exactly happening in their business so that they can make a better decisions, whether they want to, open up another branches in another area, how much asset that they have on hand, so that whether it's enough for them to scale bigger. So the mindset that I hope that actually can share with you guys are, these are the customers that so far that we are serving. And to be honest, these are the things that, are increasing kind of inquiry, that they know they need data, they need numbers to make decisions. So please, don't just do invest accounting software or do your accounting for the sake of audit and tax. This is very, very wrong. Yeah, so in further explanation, why to invest in accounting software. So be it is Xero or the other accounting software in the market, which I will show you guys later, what are the accounting software in the market that is available. Because for me today is education. I'm not really trying to hard sell, how great Xero is, but I'm focusing in Xero. So that's why I have actually deeper insights about how Xero is. But I just want to share with you, typically accounting software, what they can do. Definitely, they can give you the sales that you actually happen and the actual money that you receive. Be it any industries, actually is the same. Like F&B, is it all the sales that you incur in your restaurants? Is it actually banked into a bank account eventually? We actually met our customers, last year when we actually do the accounting for them. We realized that, the staff actually stolen, 50 ringgit a day, 30 ringgit a day, 20 ringgit a day. Eventually, throughout a few months, it's accumulated to almost 10,000. So these are things, when you invest in accounting software, when you record all the sales and also you reconcile it, what has been deposited into your bank. That's really pretty important for me. And second thing is like, is there any client outstanding invoices that still owe to you? Because all these things is actually the asset. As long as the customer doesn't pay you, you cannot use the cash to invest or to spend. And also supplier outstanding bills. Probably, can you request for a longer credit term so that your cash flow is actually pretty healthier? So these are things that throughout all the information, they actually pretty know well how you can use your cash effectively. At the same time, GP margin, for certain industries, they actually have a kind of benchmark of GP. So for example, like F&B, usually what I see is 50 to 70% or maximum 80%. For service providers, professional service, usually at least 90%. So it's really depending on what are the things that the nature of business that you are in. But gross profit margin is actually determining how you actually running your business. And of course, net profit margin, eventually why we are in business, right? is actually for profit. And the assets versus liabilities, manage your cash flow and so on. So, but the things is that if we drill down into each of the respective items here, right? When we move into the things, you actually can turn all the numbers into a strategic actions. Because as I mentioned, I'm a number guy. So I actually use this actually convert into the things that I think it could help me. Let's say I want to have a better cash position because the customers owe me quite a lot. So I will think of like strategies, how I can, collect the money easier from my customers. So you actually can use that strategy to build more processes within your businesses so that you're actually moving towards your business growth. For example, like this sales information, right? So actually it's more towards you can know all the sales are recorded correctly. So these are things like, let's say from Xero, right? You actually can know like what are the awaiting payments in like all the sales invoice has been created, and what are the status of your invoices. Is it in the draft mode or awaiting payment or paid? So indirectly, in the glance, you actually can know how was your sales has been recorded. Is it correct or wrong, or there's any missing kind of invoices has been recorded? Yeah, so this is one of example. The other example is the age receivables, if you guys are aware of the thing. But for me, it's more towards the question I will ask, how can I reduce my account receivables? So you can see like those customers that owing me around less than 1 month is 73%. So there are minimal that people owing me 4.59 and 2.25% for 1 month and 2 months. So this is more towards an example, but what if in your business that what is happening is actually owing you more than 3 months or even more? So you actually can see the numbers here and also the percentage here. Means out of 100% of people owing you, like how many percent is actually categorized under the 3 months or older. Then you actually can think of, what are the strategies that I can implement. Is it I have to implement, if you owe me more than the due date, I will charge you interest. Or since they are owing you for a long time, if you are generous enough, you can offer them a discount, pay one time off at this moment by this date, and I'll give you, let's say 5 or 10% discount. So, it can turn those numbers into the strategic actions. And the other examples, like let's say under the profit and loss account, so all these are actually generated from Xero. So you actually can see the GP margin and also net profit margin easily on the numbers. But for me, this actually can be generated with any software. But again, real-time data actually can give you more insights about what you can do next. So when you're looking at the numbers, when let's say now we are looking at 62.391% of GP. Let's say your industry benchmark, after you spoke to your friend or competitors, let's say they told you that I'm making 80% of GP. So you can see the gap of 80%, right? So from there, you will turn out into a few questions. Do you need to increase your price? Is it you are underpricing your sales now, all the services or the product that you are selling, or actually you are buying more expensive kind of product that reduce your gross profit? And then, like what I mentioned, the supplier cost is too high. Is it like when it comes to net profit margin, it's still the same? When you're spending, let's say, here the advertising is 36.57%. So you can imagine I'm spending this kind of amount of money, but I'm generating this kind of revenue. So indirectly, actually telling you a story as well. Whatever that you are, let's say you engage a marketing agency, indirectly, they are not giving you the value and also the results that you really wanted, because you spend money on marketing agency, and as I know, it's not cheap, to be honest, based on their market rate. So these are actually telling you, these are the whether you are doing right for your business. At the same time, you might be a question, why you spend so much of like entertainment, for example, you have spent 6% out of your total sales to convert this kind of amount. So again, these are another questions that you can raise up to your, to your team. And the other things that, let's say we moved into balance sheet, right? So these are the things that, let's say the total assets and total liabilities and also the net asset. So these are the important information for you to understand how it can help you to get the loan as well, Because as I know, certain banks, they actually look at your net asset of your business. That's why they require you the management report. So for information, our customer actually, they want to apply a loan. Yes, there's actually easily they can submit because everything is real time. They just need to export and then they can send out, within 24 hours. So these are things that depending how you want to do it, but the questions is like more towards if you have having a negative net asset, do you want to really increase your assets? So these are the things that you can actually take strategy actions out of it and reduce liability, or how? Is it paid up capital too low? So, but definitely, I don't think I'm in the position should advise you how to increase the assets or reduce the liabilities. But this is the question that you can bring it back to your accounting team, how they actually can focus in the direction that you guys are aiming to grow, so that you got to take action today based on the numbers that's actually portraying to you. Okay. The other example is like cash flow statement. So when let's say we have a cash and cash equivalents at end of period of 3,005. So there are two questions they can ask. First question, can your current cash in hand support your business monthly burn rate? And if yes, how many months? So let's say your monthly burning rate, is 10,000. So indirectly, it's going to be bad based on the numbers. So let's say if you want to, tahan for like, let's say 6 months, right? So your cash in hand, at least you need 60,000. So these are things actually the power of cloud accounting. So for me, any accounting software is just a tool. And how you actually make use of it is actually depending how you build your process, like how you're going to update your accounts every day, etc. And how they're going to report to you if there's anything, right? So that's where you actually can link to this, set your business metrics that you want to track for your business, talk to your people. So for example, certain of our service provider customers, right? They will set, because for service providers, the highest cost is always human. So they set my metrics, one of metrics is actually my revenue versus my payroll. Means my target is achieve 50%. Means total I spend on payroll has to be kept at 50%. If more than that, your accounting team should highlight to you. So these are things that, one of the metrics that you can do, or your GP margin or net profit before tax margin. So all these things can be set as per your customizable based on your nature of business, but please set this, because actually it will link back to the accounting software that you are using and how it actually can help you to make the better decisions. And so these are the importance of real-time data that you actually can access anywhere and anytime, be it Xero or any accounting software. So I just want to show you guys, what are the accounting software in the market. So probably you guys can type in the chat, some names that you guys are familiar with. If you guys are using one of it here.
Well, I'm quite familiar with AutoCount, but I just heard the name. I've never had experience using it.
Okay. AutoCount is a good product. Yeah. Thank you, Rizal. Okay, so this is more towards an overview, but if you want to really split it, these are the summary that we can see. So they actually can have a different version like cloud and also desktop or remote access. They are desktop software, accounting software telling you they are cloud, but actually they are remote access. Means they host their own server and then they sell you the remote access. So, but for me, I just want to give a compliment to AutoCount, although I'm not selling for them, but I think they are one of the, there's only Malaysia company that they started with desktop and they built the brand new cloud accounting. So that's why you can see there are two brands here, which has AutoCount name here. One is desktop, one is cloud accounting. Yeah, so these are the things I just want to give a compliment to them. Yeah, so these are the things that to help you guys to differentiate what are the brands, like how it works in cloud and desktop and remote access, because it would help you guys to better understand what you guys are researching for. And each of the software, I would say, again, you remember, nothing is perfect. I don't think they can fit any or like every single thing that you requested unless your business are not really complicated. These are the things that for your reference. And so remember, so the growth and the system, these are the things that I hope you guys can understand how system actually can help you from, let's say, from accounting perspective. So I also would love to tell you guys like 3 other key elements of building the robust structure. So because for me, software is just a tool. So most importantly is actually, the first one is the people in your company. Without the great people or the right people, digitalization so far, what I see, definitely based on my experience, I don't really have every single case also successful, There's also a failure that end up, the people sabotage what we are trying to change. So first thing, you need to align your people, whether the things that you are moving towards, is it the right thing to do? And second is actually the process. So with the right people, you're setting the processes, how you guys going to coordinate, how you guys going to communicate if there's any problem. So these are the more important thing for me based on the priorities. And the last one, only talk about software. So once you have the right people, you set the right process, you know what you want, then you talk about which software that actually suit you the best. So I think these are the three key elements based on priority that you guys can understand. Hopefully, it brings you guys a bit more clarity about digitalization. Yeah. So, another questions I always receive, how can I choose the right accounting software? So, but for me, there's also a couple of questions that you guys can ask yourself and together with your team as well. The three golden questions, I would say that is really powerful, because for me, when I talk to any potential customers, right, these are also the first three questions that I would ask them. So the first one is actually the nature of business, because every single, every different business will need a different needs. So this thing will link to what kind of solutions that you are looking for. So for example, if you are an e-commerce company, you will definitely need a cloud inventory system. If you are a bigger scale of e-commerce, you would need an inventory plus warehousing system. If you're just retail, it's pretty direct. But yeah, again, this nature of business, it would determine what kind of things that you should invest in. The second question is more towards the software scalability. And this is the thing what I love about Xero, as I mentioned, is about the integrations. Because in the past, you can imagine, let's say if I invest in the ERP, I have to invest in the whole software at one go. But the digitalization, I have to go by area. If I go everything together, it's actually your people will be feeling very exhausted. And end up the failure rate is actually higher. So currently the cloud accounting software in the market, they are more scalable for the business growth. Why? You can implement, let's say, Xero first. After that, I'm ready. My HR department want to digitize the cloud payroll so that I want to become paperless payroll process. Then you look for cloud payroll software that integrate with Xero. And then let's say today you are doing servicing, but let's say we are remote, but today I want to go ask my people, go to door and sell. Then can we invest in a certain software that can do like on the spot, closing sales, can receive a payment on the spot? We call it as, I just got a recent term is like the remote post system. They can take around, straight away can take credit card or the other things that, to close it on the spot. So, but again, these are things that you can scale towards. And last thing is actually, is that aligning to your growth plan? Whatever that you guys are building, you guys definitely will reach a bottleneck. But eventually, you guys know what you want to reach eventually. Whatever that you guys are going through now is just a process. So these are things that is more towards the scalability could help you to align back to the growth plan that you are planning for. Okay, so the nature of business, as I said, sales channel, how you generate your sales channel, or how you actually purchase it, your inventory, is it you need a very comprehensive kind of inventory, then go for really those expensive one. And payroll. So these are things, just a quick questions about the nature of business. But the rest of it is actually have to go through a further kind of understanding about what you guys need and what the software can help you. So this is more towards examples, these are the, before MCO, this is a typical F&B business they could do. Before like Grab, those things, they boom, right? You just need a POS system and they can, cloud access, and then they can take cash or debit credit card. They can have a banking slip, they can have the public bank, let's say it's a public bank, right? Sorry, I'm not, advertising public bank, but this is just an example that I did it for my customers. So, but let's say you get a credit card merchant report to get the right amount that eventually they're banking into your money. But now it's very different. You have multiple sales channels. All the money is actually receiving, differently. So, Foodpanda will give you access and give you a different kind of settlement report. GrabFood will give you the different one. Shopee Food, same, they'll give you a different one. Shopee, the POS system is even worse. Now we got e-wallet, right? But definitely there's a solution that's solving this. But not everyone is actually using that. But you can imagine like all these things actually increasing the way you receive money as well. Indirectly, your accounting also more tedious. So last one is like order, people set up their own the websites, all these things, right? So eventually it will still pay back to your bank statement. So you can compare, the last time how you run the F&B and also now, right, it's very, very different. Same goes to whatever industries that you are running. So, but today also want to tell you guys, on the software scalability, on integrations, but I will support with the ecosystem here. So this is just an example, what are the brands that you can use when it comes to a different industry. So let's say you are e-commerce. Let's say you are using Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, or EasyStore. You can set up integration with Xero. Then you can also implement like Unleash or Haiqal, those kind of inventory systems that can they can link back to accounting. So there are many systems, can be applied, but really depending on what kind of industries that you are in, and also what are things that you want to measure or monitor. So these are some of the examples. And if we move into the cloud accounting industry case study, right? So for Xero itself, let's say service providers, these are the top F features I mentioned about Xero, right? So on top of it, so eventually Xero brings you the real-time data. But if your company scale bigger, you can actually change the invoicing system to a CRM software so that they can manage more complicated things, because the accounting software, it's impossible that you can jot down, what are the things that you have done for this customer, right? Accounting software, typically, they couldn't do so. So you can invest in a cloud CRM software to do whatever that you need to monitor. They can give you all the sales report, what are the salesperson have done, how many meetings that they've attended, etc., whatever, right? They give you all the insights there. But whatever sales invoice has been done, it can link to Xero. And then same, they'll still give you the real-time financial information. So this is how the scalability of Xero for service providers. This is just an example. It could be more. For restaurants, so the pain is actually, the fast ordering is like fast paced, right? The sales ordering, food cost management, kitchen wastage, and staff management. So in F&B, Xero can be used as well, but you can also definitely, the typical one like StoreHub, all these things, they are actually the cloud post system that can link to Xero. But at the same time, you also can do like cloud inventory system like Food Market Hub that can manage your kitchen wastage. You also even can do the cloud scheduling and time attendance software. Means imagine last time I used Excel file to write, let's say Rizal, your shift is, Monday to Friday morning. I use the Excel file, then I send it over to you, or I need to print it out and you'll go to see yourself. You also let's say you can digitize that, by using a software to digitize the schedule, because most of our people are using smartphone now. So they can see all the shift using the mobile app, and then when they come to the shop, they just check in and check out. Then the total number of hours will be generated from there, and you can push to a payroll software. And then payroll software, once you calculate all the payroll, EPF, SOXO, EIS, all these things, right, you'll push to Xero. And that's where you will get real-time financial information. So this is more towards a different perspective for F&B. For e-commerce, which is, a lot of people are moving to e-commerce plus retail because of omni-channels, right? So this is the pain points, sales also same, fast-paced, but the user experience, they are more emphasizing, the way they go to the website, the moment the customers walk into the shop, how they actually improve their user experience, etc., and then inventory management as well. So, but the things that they can use is actually, it still goes back to same Xero. So they can have like online website, also retail post system. And then they can link to inventory system. They can manage the both stock for both of the software, and then you link back to Xero. At the same time, they also can implement a claim software, because they have to retail, you need to snap all the, all the claims immediately, etc. So you also can use a cloud claim software to manage all the claims. And you also can implement the payroll, where it will still brings you back to the real-time financial information. Yeah. So basically, again, it's just back to the point, the importance of the real-time data. So the solution, the industry case study I've showed you just now, almost all of them are cloud-based system. So it means that respective software will give you a different data, give you the things that you need in order to make the right decisions. But most importantly, you can access anywhere and anytime. So these are the things, when you move into ERP, then let's say we use cloud accounting plus integration, it could be a simplified version of ERP. I wouldn't say it will be same like, those Oracle or SAP. I confirm, it's a different level. But at least there's something can support your business growth using cloud accounting plus the other software as well. So I also want to share with you guys, digitalization is like a marathon. So please always prioritize your pains. This is things I always advise my customers. Accounting is always the last thing to do. So please focus on the front end. Let's say e-commerce, you digitize your the online shop first. You digitize your post system first. You talk about inventory first. Then you only talk about accounting. So you can do it like a digitalization roadmap. You digitize it one step at a time so that it won't exhaust your team. And this will actually, you can enjoy like what you are looking at now, the scenery, a very, very nice scenery, end of the day. Okay, so as a summary, I hope this session could bring you guys a different perspective about accounting software, because all this while accounting software is always booked like a standalone. The integration, yes, there is there is in the market, but for me, it's limited. But when we move to cloud accounting, it's a different ball game. So, but I hope this session is able to educate you guys. So you can see I'm not really hard sell you guys anything, but definitely hope you guys can learn anything out of it. So if you guys really want to talk to me personally, yeah, go to my website or this mobile, kind of view. You can scan this QR code. You just book now. We can have a 30 minutes clarity call. Feel free to talk to me. I can help out as much as I could for you guys to digitize. Okay, I think that's all. And let's move to the Q&A session. So I'll pass to you, Rizal.
Thank you very much, Alfred, for the sharing. That's really insightful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us for the past, I say, 45 minutes. I learned a lot too from this sharing. Well, I can see from here that I have a list of questions from the participants. I may not be able to read out all questions here as far as the time limit concerned, but I'll just read a question or two or more for our speaker to respond if time permits. All right, Alfred, this is a question from me throughout the presentation. I'm quite interested when you shared about the elements of robust system, and those elements include people, process, and software. And without these three, the system would not be robust. So if you have a software, you have a good tool, cloud accounting software. And when it comes to people, what do you think the minimum skill requirements in order for the employees or the businesses to run the software, apart from the knowledge in accounting? What are the minimum skills required?
I think, first of all, thank you for the questions. I think skill set, accounting software, to be honest, a lot of people say that, non-accountant can use accounting software. So sorry, I don't believe on that. You will still have a minimum requirement for you to understand how cloud accounting works or accounting software works. You still need an accounting background to understand about accounting. So eventually, I would say, depend on your organization chart. If at this moment you don't have money to hire professionals, a very normal one, outsource it. You just need an admin people or account exec, a junior one. At least it's not that expensive. And then they actually supporting your accountant, the outsourced accountant. So moving forward, like our customers, they will start hiring the manager. So for the accountant, for me, sometimes they just filling the gap between the admin or junior level and the finance manager. They're actually in between. But some people also, offer CFO service, etc. So it's really depending who actually you engage. But I would say, in terms of your question, yeah, you still need at least some experience in accounting. Not a lot, junior, maybe fresh or 1 or 2 years, but it still requires some basic knowledge, I would say. But most importantly for me, go back to the thing is actually the process. So as long as the process is clear, even fresh grad, they come in, right, they understand what they need to achieve. Without a solid process, I think people will feel miserable. Yeah.
For financially challenged companies like SMEs, outsourcing accounting service may not be an attractive option. So if this company still wishes to adopt cloud accounting such as Xero software, so what kind of support does CALTRiX provide to these companies?
For our perspective, we will support on how Xero works. Like, firstly, we would understand, what kind of industries that you're in. So whether you can use Xero or not, then we only sell it. So we won't simply sell Xero, to be honest. So because we just want to ensure you have a good experience using the software. So what we usually do is we will set up for them initially, and then we will train the people as well how to use the software. But again, if they don't know anything about accounting, it's a bit difficult. Yeah, so we will do our best, to tell them what they should do eventually. And then lastly, we will support from them remotely using WhatsApp or normal call.
Okay, great. So one of the features, okay, the next question is one of the features that you highlighted, that is this Xero is somewhat linked to CIMB Bank. Am I correct? Yep. Okay, so probably in the future, in 5 or to 10 years, what is CALTRiX plan? Expanding banking service providers apart from CIMB Bank?
For our side, we have what we have done all these years is we actually suggested the banks that most of our people are using that under our care, and then they will talk to the bank. So for us, the integration is not something that we can do or even Xero can do. It's about the bank whether they want to digitize. Yeah, so so far CIMB is the official one, and good news is unofficial one is actually Maybank to you. Yeah, so but I would say it's still limited, but moving forward, what I heard seems like the other banks are actually talking to Xero already in Malaysia. I cannot tell which one, but these are things that, these are the great thing about cloud accounting, it will keep on improving at the price that you have been paying. So these are the differences that could help your business to grow as well. Yeah.
I see. All right, moving to the next feature, you mentioned about the security. Yes, it is true that security is a top priority, but in regards with the storage capacity, because everything is uploaded to the cloud. So can you share more about the storage capacity that CALTRiX provides to Xero?
Okay, so for Xero, they don't have a limit on the storage. I understand your question, Stan Rizal, because they do have accounting software, they charge you by the storage size. Yeah, for Xero itself, they don't have that. Yeah.
So for all by CALTRiX,
I can't hear.
Sorry, so for all available plans offered by CALTRiX, so the storage capacity is almost unlimited.
Yeah,
right?
Because like you can imagine, for us when we do the accounting for our customers, right? Every single transactions are supported by the PDF file or JPEG file, because we do things must be based on a supporting document so that the clarity, the transparency that we are working on.
Okay, maybe I can pick next question posted by our participant here. How secure is cloud accounting in terms of data protection?
Okay, thank you, Nofarahin, for your question. In terms of the secure, I would say it's depending what kind of the backend server they are using. So most of the people, they are using AWS, the Amazon web server, which is one of the strongest in the world. So it's really depending on what they do. So for me, I don't think it's an issue on data protection. Even Xero itself, they also offer the disaster recovery team. Means that let's say they actually ensure you the data won't be gone missing. So as of now, I've been using for 7 years now. So far, so good. Yeah, so these are the things I don't think is an issue. Yeah, so that's why I choose Xero other than the other software, because they are serving the customers globally. Yeah, that are more comfortable to choose. Yeah, so not to say Malaysia for that is not good, but it's a choice of life.
Yeah, so talking about security, I myself was a recent victim to ransomware, and so I think everybody was, and hopefully not everyone will experience the same thing. So I really appreciate security more than ever. So that's why, especially when integrating business in a digital ecosystem, security is top notch. Everybody should not ignore. But those companies out there, especially the SMEs, I'm still able to see some of their employees recording the transactions manually, even though they have the deals like cash register next to them. So they might still be practicing manual accounting practice. So for this kind of company with existing manual accounting practice, is it possible to migrate whatever things that already been done manually into this cloud accounting? And in this practice, what kind of support does CALTRiX provide to migrating from other manual practice into this cloud accounting?
Okay, so basically we don't migrate the whole thing, because usually if you are using desktop accounting software, they will stick with you forever. So to minimize the cost of migration, we just tell them, you know, we just set a cutoff date, we just put an opening balance, then we tweak the processes and we run it in a different way. So this is actually the cheapest way for you know, digitalization. If we go into migration, you know, there will cost a lot. I don't think it's worth to invest.
I see. So whatever plans available offered by CALTRiX, each plan is still customizable according to their accounting requirements. Okay, you also mentioned that Xero is also integrated with over 1,000 apps globally, and I believe that. And you also mentioned, if I still remember that, let's say if you wish to apply for leave, let's say an employee wish to apply for leave, and they wish to, and the employer wishes to grant approval to the leave, and it is simply integrated to Xero, and also this Xero is integrated with instant communication software like WhatsApp. So is it integrated with WhatsApp as well? If let's say
no. So since I think Riz has asked about it, so far no. So you have to just straight, because for let's say like invoices, right, in Xero, you can straight away send in using the mobile app. So you don't actually need to convert it into a WhatsApp message. You can straight away email to them, or alternatively, you can copy the link to them. There's a link of each of the invoices that can put it. So to answer Riz's questions, and for Rizal, just now you mentioned about the WhatsApp, right?
Right.
Yeah. So these are things that unfortunately there's no integration at this moment. So a lot of things are still using the email way. And but the leave application that you mentioned just now is actually belongs to the cloud payroll system. So it's actually there's a number of choices now. Like this moment, you know, there's Payroll Panda, Kaki Tangan, Swingv, Payroll, Haiqal, Talenox. There are so many brands. You guys can go to our website lah. So we have a blog, you know, talk about, you know, top 8 cloud payroll software in Malaysia. So these are things that for you guys to choose as well. So but leave application actually now a lot of them actually they use you know, paperless one. You know, they just set up in the back end, you know, for this person who will be the approver. If there are 2 approval, I need to set the first level and second level. So once it's done, you know, everything will be going through the email notification to do all the work. And on top of it, once the leave everything has been done right, if there's any unpaid leave, you know, there's only comes to deduct the salary. Once it's deducted the salary, you calculate the payroll, you only push to Xero. That's how the integration works. So it's not fully like everything will go into Xero, because you know, in certain companies they want to split accounting and HR department. You know, everything confidential, it will stick to the HR. Then the accounting always maintain as a total number of the payroll. They don't even know, you know, my people sitting beside me is like earning how much, you know. All these things are confidential.
There is still confidentiality maintained, even though the whole system is integrated, right?
Yeah, they only push certain things that are related to accounting. It's not fully.
So even though, although Xero is not integrated with this instant messaging apps and so on, if the employer wishes to share a certain document or information with their employees through WhatsApp, so basically Xero is able to generate a certain link, and this link is subsequently shared through WhatsApp, and
from the sales invoice.
Right, for the sales invoice. So from the link, then the employees will be able to access whatever content from the link, right?
Yeah. So if they want to access to the whole thing, you know, it's just very easy. You just go to the browser, go to xero.com, and then, you know, log in, then you can see everything.
Okay. Maybe I can ask the last question before we conclude this webinar. Okay, how many users for this cloud accounting software? Does it only provide exclusively for a single user or multiple users?
Yeah, so just now I show you guys a lot of brands, right? So every brand offering the same thing, but for Xero, it's unlimited user.
Unlimited users, that's great. And is there any, probably the very last but not least, any free trial version from CALTRiX?
30 days. So you guys just need to WhatsApp us, in our page, then we will create for you guys.
All right, great. Okay, thanks, Alfre. Thank you very much
Rizal.
for responding to the questions and the sharing too. We are so grateful to have you in today's webinar. Would you like to say a few words, Alfred, before we end this webinar?
Sure. So I think it's almost the same as the summary, but I sincerely hope that this session can help brings you guys a lot more clarity about digitalization from cloud accounting perspective. And hopefully, it will brings you guys a different journey in digitalization. It's a smoother sailing on the journey. Yeah, that's all.
Right.
And, good luck to you guys.
Thank you, Alfred.
And thank you guys.
I'd like to thank you all so much for staying with us till the end. As today's webinar is recorded on Facebook, you may revisit the FB page and replay the recording as soon as it is ready. You may also watch the recording on the YouTube. Do not forget to subscribe to Digital Productivity Nexus channel. You will learn all the past webinars via the channel. And last but certainly not least, thank you very much to Digital Productivity Nexus MPC for hosting today's webinar. Learn more about upcoming webinars hosted by DPN via DPN's official Facebook page. That's all for today. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay productive. I'm Rizal Muhammad. Thank you for listening. Farah, back to you.
So much, Rizal, and especially Alfred for the great sharing. I hope all of you guys enjoyed our session today. Don't forget to stay tuned for our Go Big with Digital webinar next week at the same time, same platform. Have a nice day and see you guys soon. Bye.
Pembayaran tanpa tunai meningkatkan produktiviti perniagaan. Adakah anda seorang peniaga? Adakah perniagaan anda menerima pembayaran tanpa tunai? Tahukah anda, pembayaran tanpa tunai boleh meningkatkan produktiviti perniagaan sekaligus meningkatkan keuntungan anda? Pembayaran tanpa tunai dilakukan melalui transaksi perbankan atas talian, kad debit, kad kredit dan e-dompet. Ianya merupakan pilihan rakyat Malaysia masa kini. Ini kerana pembayaran boleh dibuat di mana-mana sahaja dengan selamat serta menjimatkan masa tanpa perlu mengeluarkan duit dari bank terlebih dahulu. Sistem pembayaran tanpa tunai ini memberi banyak faedah kepada peniaga. Akaun perniagaan anda akan diurus dengan lebih sistematik. Anda tidak perlu risau lagi untuk merekod transaksi perniagaan anda. Segalanya akan direkod dan anda hanya perlu menyemak melalui penyata perbankan anda. Ianya juga lebih efisien, kos efektif dan selamat kerana anda tidak perlu lagi membawa wang tunai atau pergi ke bank untuk mendeposit atau mengeluarkan wang. Bukankah ini dapat menjimatkan masa dan kos operasi perniagaan anda? Trend transaksi perniagaan atas talian meningkat dengan pesat menerusi platform e-dagang atau media sosial. Perniagaan beroperasi 24 jam sehari sepanjang tahun dan semakin ramai rakyat Malaysia yakin dengan sistem pembayaran tanpa tunai bagi transaksi pembelian atas talian. Ini adalah potensi besar kepada anda untuk mengembangkan perniagaan dan menggandakan keuntungan anda. Tapi jika anda masih dengan kaedah dan cara lama, pelanggan anda hanya terhad kepada mereka yang mengunjungi kedai anda sahaja. Jadi, apa yang anda tunggu lagi? Inilah masa terbaik untuk anda mulakan langkah pertama. Jom berniaga secara atas talian dan menerima pakai pembayaran tanpa tunai. Produktiviti perniagaan meningkat, keuntungan juga sudah pasti akan meningkat. Mesej ini dibawakan oleh Perbadanan Produktiviti Malaysia, MPC.